with a couple of things in OBS once we start the game. So it would be great if you could do the introduction for me, and
That's
then
fine.
I will go ahead and make sure the spec overlay is working. So I'll count us down in 3, 2, 1, go. And I'll tell you when to start. If you could start right about now, that would be great.
Oh, hey, welcome everybody. It is the AoE All-Stars tournament. We actually are in the qualification stage. The winners of the series will actually move on to be qualified to the round robin based tournament for 8 weeks. We have in the red, we're going to have Liereyy, however you want to call it, playing as the Vietnamese on the map called Baltic, and he'll be based on the east part of the map. And on to the west, we're going to have in the blue Fire, playing, of course, as the Vietnamese. It is a mirrored matchup, of course. And it's one of the new civs, of course, in the Rise of the Raja. So we could be pretty excited to see how this is going to play out, of course. And with me, of course, the person who's hosting, the cameraman, the mouthpiece. It's going to be, of course, Zeroempires.
The mouthpiece. I've never been called that before, but okay, I'll take that. I didn't realize I was a woodwind instrument, but anyway, yeah, just making weird noises all stream long. Today we are going to be doing this game with the spectator overlay. This is brand new community, I guess, hack, program, whatever you want to call it, which allows us to see information about both players simultaneously on the screen. And hopefully this is going to be okay for you guys on the stream as well, and it's not going to be bugging out or anything like that. This is the first time we're using this, so I'm very much looking forward to seeing how it goes. There is also okay, so just to let you know, this is the first part of it down here, which tells us the villages of both players, the infantry, the ranged units, the cavalry, basically military information. There's also a panel which is currently disabled, which shows up on the top right, which shows you the technologies which are being researched, and they will also be able to show things like resource counts and things as well. But this is a very, very early build of the program, and so it's not completely feature complete, and it's still very much in development. But I'm really thankful to NBrain and the Madden, who have been working on this project for the last months and weeks, and are collaborating to bring us this awesome program to hopefully make the spectator experience much better. So I have got on my second screen another information panel which you guys can't see, which will tell me the texts and things which are being researched as well, which is always really nice because you don't know what texts are being researched unless you click on the building and then actually see it. But the spectator overlay will monitor all of that for us, which is very nice. I like it. So just really quickly, I do want to talk about the players, Fire and Liereyy. I think, going into this matchup, Fire may be the stronger player when it comes to water maps. I think Fire's always been a fantastic water map player, and I think Liereyy might have the edge on land maps, perhaps, but I don't know if that's going to be the case or not. That's just my kind of analysis of these two players. Let's see how it goes, as right now we've got both players building their first dock, and Lierey's going to have his up just a little bit faster.
Yeah, so Vietnamese. Good to see them back. I haven't seen them in a while, personally. What is interesting, of course, it's Baltic, so generally, fish in the lake, want to fight over the water. Edges, of course, are quite narrow, so you can go around if you want to, but it'll take forever, so that's why they want to fight out on the water more than anything else. They're not, again, as civ-wise, they aren't really that well built for water. Again, their economy is no real, actually, bonuses as such, as far as I'm aware, except for one of the unique techs. I think going there. The dock tech-wise is okay. You get, of course, the galleon and most things except for fast fire ship and shipwright, which is quite an important upgrade. But as I said before, they're both the same civ, so no one is losing out on anything. So it's all there to play for. There's no excuses, nowhere to hide. But you're right, though. You are right, though, in saying that I do also believe Fire is I think, a better player for water, generally speaking. We might see it different today, but I think your assessment on them is actually quite correct. So.
Liereyy coming in on the left-hand side. He's going to find one of Fire's villagers right now. There's only 13 HP remaining, and Fire does not have Loom. This is like the riskiest part of the game, but Lierey's going to go back. Liereyy sees the house. He knows where the TC is, but he thinks maybe he just can't kill that villager in time. That was a close one. That was a close one. And Liereyy right now researching Loom at the TC just to make sure that doesn't happen to him, because that was a little bit dicey.
How? Oh, yeah, that house. That house, what a save! Remember that, people. that could save you. That's quite crazy. I'm still a little bit surprised, Liereyy, because you would have thought. But hang on, Vietnamese know where their enemies start.
He knew where the TC was. So
yeah. So you.
I don't know why he didn't commit to that.
Because that, I guess, in the fog of war, it does look, but they're quite close, the house and the TC. But because he was on 13 HP. There's a good chance you could have got the Vil. It was worth a crack at.
No, I don't know, actually. He would have had to hit it like a few more times. And I think it probably would have made it back to the town center there. I mean, anyway, let's move on from that. Unfortunately, Liereyy didn't get the Vil. But what I want to talk about real briefly is the fact that Fire is probably one of the best players on water in AOC right now. That's not up for debate. But what about the expansions and HD? Is he one of the best water players here? Because it is a different meta game, and it is going to require some different skills. For example, if you open with fire ships, you should send 4 villagers to gold instead of your normal 3, which you would normally send to gold for a galley rush build order.
Yeah, well, Lierey's caught on to that already, so we've got 4 being sent to that gold, so he knows what's up there. And what about from Fire? Oh, he's sending 3. Oh, there we go. Interesting.
So big difference already from both these guys. 4 gold minus for Liereyy, 3 gold minus for Fire. And yes, it does make a difference, because it does tell us that Fire is probably going to open with galleys here, and Liereyy is probably going to open with fire galleys. As we saw in the last game, just how effective those fire galleys can be. That's pretty huge. Not only that, but Fire did lose his scout cavalry as well, so Lierey's going to have a little bit of extra scouting information to be able to know, is Fire building his 3rd dock? What's Fire's villager distribution looking like? And not only that, one final thing before I'll let you speak here, Milmano. I know I have grabbed the mic and have taken over, but Fire, only 2 sheep under the TC, whereas Liereyy has about 6-7 sheep under the TC right now.
That's absolutely fine. You are the mouthpiece. I tell you what, you are the clarinet to this all. Okay, that is the wood instrument we're going to use. All right. So 2 docks out from Liereyy.
Interesting.
Oh, what is interesting? I've seen fire galleys from. What about from Fire? What's
fire galleys.
Oh. He hasn't got the gold, though, to make the 3rd one. Like, he's got 18, because he hasn't got 4 in the gold.
He was idling the dock for ages because he didn't have the gold for it. So, I'm at 11 minutes and 15 right now, just so you know, so we can try and stay in sync right here. I think you're slightly behind.
Yeah, I was about 5 seconds behind.
Yeah, cool. So, right now, Liereyy actually getting up a little bit faster. He's going straight forward here, and yeah, Liereyy was about 20 seconds faster to the feudal age, so he was able to launch his attack a little sooner, but not taking a favorable engagement to start, taking quite a bit of damage on, fighting 1v2, not an ideal situation, falling back towards his own docks already. And I think both players will do a similar build here, as Fire does actually send out 5 villagers to gold now, and Liereyy does the same. So, yeah, I think in this situation, they just had a little bit of a different opening build order, but the result is going to be very similar in the fact that they're both making fire ships, and, well, Lierey's making a couple of galleys now as well to follow up.
Yeah, along with a little cheeky demo raft as well. Fire is he still sticking the same? Okay, he's getting 1 galley out now. So slight difference is that there's no demolition raft, but we'll see how that pans out. Because last time when we saw that demolition raft being used in the last set series, it didn't work out so well from the gal's perspective. So I don't think it'll be the case this time around, because I think the reason why the distance between two is far greater for a start. So I think there is if you lose an engagement or take some damage, there is a period where you can actually get yourself back into it a little bit more.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can fall back a little bit. So we're seeing Fire here making a little bit of an aggressive move. See how it pans out.
He's outnumbered, and there's a demolition raft there.
Ooh.
Oh wow, that's not a good engagement at all. Oh dear.
Go on, my son. Go on.
Liereyy. That was great for him. He immediately surrounds 1 fire galley. He gets the demolition raft off as well. He's got a bigger health pool on his units, and he's got a decent mix as well, but he's got to be careful. taking some free damage right here as he retreats, and it's all about that micromanagement. You've got to be very careful to use your units properly and effectively. Now, I just want to add as well, one of the lovely things here about the spec overlays, we can see Liereyy already has fletching right now on these galleys, and Liereyy did complete double bitax about a minute before Fire in this game. Fire trading out one demolition ship for one fire galley here, not a good trade for him, and I think Lierey's got the edge on the water right now as he's going to push Fire's fire ships back.
Doing a really good job there. Those guys in the back as well, just adding that extra bit of damage as well. Absolutely beautiful. It's a great combination. It's working out very well. One quick point is, whilst they're having all this madness on the water, a little bit of the scout work coming up from Liereyy takes out Fires up on the hill area. The corpse is now gone. But a little bit of harassment came on the woodline as well. You can see that a couple of villagers a little bit injured as well. So again, just a bit of that harassment can really delay the wood economy, which again, so crucial on that water. So really well played by Liereyy as well.
All I can say right now is that Liereyy is on fire, quite literally, at the moment, as he is taking down Fire's docks with his own fire ships. There's too much fire in this game. But I mean, what a great start from him. I just want to add, Liereyy getting fletching quite early was really significant, because once you get galleys with fletching, you can actually engage versus those fire ships quite well, as long as you've got a couple of fire ships in front to soak up the damage. The galleys at the back are really effective. And right now, Fire is outnumbered 14 ships to 9 right now. Liereyy, a huge advantage already. And what is Fire's sort of game plan right now? What's he going to do next?
He's sending out a rogue galley, I think he's trying to create some space, let's call it. He actually has pulled away 5 galleys, and it's also made one of the pushing ships move, but that's something really big. Because now he's got a few cute inside his own dock. This is an opportune moment right now. There we go. He's going to pop it out and start an engagement and force this back and hold his docks. That's a good move. If he can keep them all alive, let's see if he can.
It was a good distraction technique, absolutely, but Liereyy still outnumbers him by about 6 warships right now, and those fire ships aren't so much of a problem anymore. Now he's got enough of massed galleys with fletching researched. Also, something to note is that Fire did wait until fletching was completed before popping out of the docks, so, he did try and make the most of that engagement. In fact, Fire's fire galley at the back of the map still being a bit of a nuisance to Liereyy. And if Fire can just kind of split Lierey's army up, he could take a good engagement.
Yeah, he definitely can try and claw his way back onto us. It's looking difficult though. One of those docks is going to go down any second now. He just focuses, but he's was he? Okay, he just backs off for a second.
He's going to get it, and that's really for Liereyy right here. That's really huge. Your opponent's down by 1 dock. You've already got a lead on the water in terms of military count. And I think Fire now, he's walled up at the south of his base. He's not bothered walling to the north yet, but I think he's going to be looking towards the Castle Age here and trying to stage a comeback from that Castle Age point in the game. But Liereyy already 4 villages ahead as well. And at this point, Fire does not have wheelbarrow. So that is just 3 or 4 villages advantage for Liereyy, even without wheelbarrow coming into the equation. So Liereyy is ahead in every sense of the word right now at this point in time.
That's bad. Fire has another dock to the very south. It's a little rogue dock. It was part of his voice. Oh, well, I'll put another one. I lost one. But look at this from Liereyy. Spots it with the galley. Oh, thank you, he says, probably as he sees it. Oh, beautiful. That is beautiful.
Yeah, Liereyy is doing such a great job right now. If we look at his fog of war, he's made, he's using his scout in the north to patrol the shoreline, make sure nothing's going on up there. He's split a couple of galleys away from his main army to scout the rest of the coastline, and he's come up with this great find in the south, which is this new dock from Fire, displacing the fishing ships once again. And also, I want to point out, Fire made a couple of demolition rafts, and they got out-microed by Lierey's galleys as well. So Liereyy here looking very strong, to say the least. Fire now researching wheelbarrow, and Liereyy is just going straight up to castle. He doesn't even have the, he's not bothering with wheelbarrow here. He's going for the faster Castle Age upgrade time, and I think that's a good choice from him.
Yeah, he's going to get that tech RPG upgrade, outstrip the entire water. So even if Fire at this point manages his way to at least make it even at that point, it won't be even for long. He will be clicking up shortly, though. Once that wheelbarrow is done, he's up. So there could be a significant gap on the uptime, but again, it's not game defining, I don't think, just yet.
Yeah.
It's still a lot to play for.
Well, there's a 30% difference in the upgrade times. Liereyy is 30% faster than Fire here going up to the Castle Age. However, Fire does have Wheelbarrow. But how important is Wheelbarrow in this situation? He doesn't have that many farms. Does he really need extra food at this point? I don't think he does. I think Liereyy is going to benefit much more from having the faster castle time and also the extra 3 villagers right now as well. So, oh wow, bad engagement again.
Yeah, he's overextending far too much. Unless he's going to give up on the water entirely and think of a new plan, which he might be doing. But even then, that was, you know, he didn't know where the enemy ship was, and he decides to go in for a raid on some fishing ships. Which, if you ask me, at 22 minutes with 4 or 5 fire galleys, is it worth it on the basis that you're probably going to lose half of them? Then yeah, I don't know. That's anyway. In terms of 20 minutes that's gone by. It's not exactly a big loss at this point, I think, for Liereyy. He's got the value out of them already, that's for sure. So, yeah, that's one thing I'd say.
One thing for sure is that Fire's going to commit to the water here. He's still going to try and commit to taking the water back. Obviously, Liereyy will be faster to the Castle Age, and he's already doing Bodkin Arrow. He's already doing War Galley, so those techs are going to be coming through straight away, and they'll probably be completed by the time Fire even hits the Castle Age himself. Fire, though, does seem to be very committed to this Fire Galley push, and it can work, but I think with Liereyy getting Bodkin Arrow and War Galley in just a moment, you know, he's got to keep them alive. He's got to focus on keeping his units alive right now. And once Fire Ship does come through, once he does upgrade to Fire Ship, then he can take an engagement. But right now, Liereyy is ahead by a lot of boats on the water, and I'm really worried for Fire right here.
Yeah, I'm very concerned too. Interesting move from Liereyy on his base. He's got a barracks and he's actually building an archery range. Oh. So he's probably thinking 2 things. Either he's so confident right now that he can just put an archery range down, maybe think about some crossbows, transport them over, or he's potentially a little bit worried that, you know, he could suffer from a landing or some sort of sneak earlier on. But I don't think that, because he must feel very confident. I would feel very confident that you've got your base fully walled up. You know you've had water control for the large part of this game. So I think it's more of that transitionary period where he's thinking, I want to try and close this game out. Let's get somebody across the water and try and get some villager picks with some crossbows.
Well, I mean, typically speaking, when you start to lose the water, that's when you're going to expect your opponent to try some kind of a landing. So it's always good to have that archery range there anyway, just as an insurance, because if your opponent does land you, you need to be prepared. And so Liereyy, you know, it's like his rainy day fund. He is prepared if it happens. But at the same time, he can also counterattack very easily. Once he has water control, like you say, land a couple of crossbows into your enemy's woodline. It could be GG right there. So Fire right now falling behind, really, you know, in the scores a long way, as he tries to push forward with these fire ships, but there's just simply too many galleys here, and he can't win this fight.
No, if fire guys, it's not bad. It's just that he's got nothing else to support them with, and there's not even enough of them anyway. But they actually, well, doing better than I thought here. But but anyway, it's still too many though coming out from Liereyy, and I think Lierey's in a position where he can adapt a bit more now, so he can think, right, okay, I need to put a couple more docks down if I need to. Situation, but right now I think he's fairly comfortable. Has he got another TC going? Is he?
Well, Lierey's on 1 TC right now, and I want to put. He actually sold 100 stone earlier on, probably to help his Castle Age timing a little bit. Fire, on the other hand, has a second TC up, and you know, he's mining stone as well, so maybe he's going to get that 3rd TC as soon as he can afford it. But right now, yeah, I mean, Liereyy is preparing, I think, for the crossbow landing. He's got some archers being trained, and we'll see if he trains a fire ship, a transport ship at any point. But he's taken down, or he should take down, the remaining docks of fire. He's going to control the center of the map with his own ships, and maybe even Liereyy could add some of his fishing ships in here as well if he wants to as well, once the water is completely locked down and secure.
Yeah, I think he's going to go for a TC soon, Liereyy. He's got the stone, he's got the wood for it. I think he will have to drop it, because Fire, he's actually got the 3rd TC down already. So when we talk about how, he was building it as we thought, he hasn't got it, but he actually had the stone. It was just one of those sort of, I just caught it situation. I know. Thank you. So we're going to get to a point, if Liereyy doesn't capitalize on this water in terms of, you know, either getting more fishing ships out, making a landing, or whatever, then it could be a bit of a sticky situation, because he's ahead, but 500 score isn't And again, anything to really write home about in at this point. And I think Fire is making the right steps at this point. He's not trying to win the water, I don't think. I think he's just trying to make Liereyy continue to invest in the water whilst he knows he's got 3 TCs at the back of it and in touching distance of Liereyy himself. So I think it's really well played by Fire so far. He's realized what's gone on, obviously.
Ooh, he's making the bad of a best of a bad situation, sorry. But look at this over here. Fire's going to spot the potential landing. He actually takes down the transport ship as it was about to load up with crossbows. So he's actually just saved himself a huge headache when those crossbows would have actually landed in his eco. Now he knows, okay, that's going to happen. I need to prepare for that. And I mean, what a great timing and a stroke of luck for Fire there.
Absolutely genius. That is genius. That's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Because now he's going to be thinking, right, okay, there's a landing coming. Make the steps to prepare for it. I hope to see anyway, a quick siege workshop being brought down very shortly. Or he's got a stone for it. No, he's nowhere near. It's going to be definitely a siege workshop. Oh, he's bloody a 4th TC? Oh, yeah. Holy cow. He's not. Well, okay, I was not expecting a
well, if you build enough TCs, your villages are always safe, so...
yeah, that is the exponential of the TCs means safe village. Yeah, brilliant. So yeah, he's got enough wood soon to get a siege workshop. He's got plenty of time, because as you said, he's took out the transport ship, so another one has to be created and to be sent over.
And it is over now, just landing in at just about 31 minutes there for Liereyy. And that's going to send 4 crossbows over with Bodkin. So, I mean, he can kill villagers very quickly with just 4 crossbows. In fact, he will find one already. And I'm surprised. I really am surprised that Fire hasn't prepared more for this. I mean, I would have expected to see a siege workshop, but maybe he's just confident that he can just get the villagers to safety inside the town centers and prevent the damage from coming through. He'll have a castle soon as well.
Yeah, I think he wants to rush that castle, though. He's got loads on stone. And he must feel confident enough that he can just drop that castle. I imagine he might drop it next place, that TC closest to the water on that hill area.
Yeah.
He wants to. I think that might be where he wants to put it, but he might have to place it a little. Okay, now he's building a siege workshop. I think he's realized that they're a problem. These 4 crossbows are a bigger problem than he thought.
Yeah, and not only that, but more could come over as well. I mean, this is 4 crossbows on his stone, but you know, another 4 could come over any second, and that also makes it very risky for him to build the castle right now, because where's he going to build it in a safe space that 4 crossbows couldn't come along and just deny it? I think that the position you said, putting it on the water on the hill, that is a perfect position for a castle in this situation. But he also risks having another bunch of villagers come over, crossbows come over and kill the villagers as they try and build it. Yeah. But
and of course, can the galleys actually hit it? I think they can. From this position, if they just sneak around just to that shoreline, I'm talking a little bit to the north, they can hit it.
He can. He will. Villagers here taking a little bit of damage. And he's scouted it as well. So the crossbows are coming through. And as I say, I mean, that's the problem. How do you build the castle in a safe enough position that you can keep your villagers alive? And, you know, he wants that castle here so badly. It's going to give him so much more control. But he just cannot get it up safely. He needs that siege workshop. And he needs that mangonel. But thankfully, the mangonel is on the way over, slowly but surely moving across, trundling across the farmland. And if he can kill the crossbows, then yeah, he can complete the castle. But in the meantime, the castle's losing health rapidly here, and he needs to sort this out.
He needs to sort this out. This is mildly concerning. With the 8 range to 7, so even then, the war guys can outrange this mangonel a little bit. So I think Fire's to be very good with his micro.
Oh, it could be a doubt castle. It could be.
Oh man.
2 villagers down. The mangonel's blocking the villagers. Oh no. This is painful. These villagers getting pummeled here. And still, this castle losing health. So, wow, Liereyy avoiding every single mangonel shot so far. And this is getting painful. All right, Fire's like, okay, I'll just build another castle. Next, just another one. Why not?
Why not double down? Just, you know, the stakes are high enough as it is, so why not throw down another
This is
castle?
ridiculous.
Is Liereyy up yet? No,
Lireyy's not up.
Click up soon.
Lireyy's just completed. Liereyy has just completed wheelbarrow, so he'll be up any minute now. So.
Oh Jesus. Okay. What's the village? count?
Villager count right now is Fire is actually ahead by 3 villagers right now, which is actually kind of surprising given how many he's just lost trying to build this castle out here. But bear in mind, he's on 4 TCs versus Lierey's 3. So, considering that he's added the extra TC and Lierey's only behind by 5 villagers, it's not so bad. So the castle's up. He's done the castle, but you know what? Fire's also up to Imperial, and he's clicked up to Imperial before Liereyy here. This is ridiculous.
That's all I can say to that. My goodness. Well, okay. Well, at least he got the castle up. I mean, objective is completed. That's what it really was about for him. His objective was, I need to get something up close to the water so I can get back on it. So that was it. It had to cost him another castle, maybe less ideal than he wanted it to, but it also fended off the landing again. So I think he's been delayed. I think he's been delayed far more than he should have done. Like, if he had the siege workshop down and that mangonel out, then he would have been fine. But oh well, what are you gonna do, huh?
Well, Fire right now still mining a lot of stone, and I think the obvious choice here is get the water back. And if you're going to make a unit choice on the land, I think it's going to be the Rattan Archer as well. So a lot of reason to build a lot of castles this game, as the Vietnamese want to be going towards the Rattan Archer. But more importantly, they want to get the water back. And since Fire will be the first to the Imperial Age, and if we check Lierey's docks, he's making war galleys right now. Did you say that the Vietnamese don't get fast fires? I can't quite remember.
They don't get fast fires, but what's so important, I'm sorry, but is that Lierey's landed. He's gone and sent 4 villagers over to the fires. Do you see it? Up to the north? Oh, yeah. Okay, well, Archie Rage, what's he going to do, an Imperial skirmish?
Well, I have to be honest, I don't know what Lierey's going to do with these ranges that's actually going to be effective here. If he goes for, like, the Arbalest and goes down that route, well, it's easily countered by the Rattan Archers from the castles, so we'll see. I mean, right now, Liereyy is going to be imp in just a second. Fire's already up, though, and Fire right now is researching Galleons, so we're going to see Galleons coming in a little bit faster than Liereyy, but Liereyy already has a lot of units on the water, so it's going to be 2 kind of fights going on at the same time here. We're going to have the fight for the water and the fight for the land as Liereyy comes through with the Imperial Age right now, and we're going to see Galleon chemistry and bracer from Liereyy.
The monk saw it. The monk's the landing. Oh, that line of sight, genius. And that means then the response from Fire, drop our castle right on that hill where that TC was. Stone, shut down that position. The only real problem Tops is going to figure a way out to try and deal with it. Maybe get a siege workshop down. But that's so crucial, that monk. Oh my goodness.
So I mean, Fire's had so many really lucky moments this game. You know, like when he found the transport ship, and then when he finds the landing with his monk, which is just sort of idling around for almost no reason. He's kind of got some luck on his side, it would seem. But let's be honest here, Liereyy still has the water. He still has a lot of galleons out. He way outmasses Fire here. And, you know, Liereyy now going a little bit towards this landing, but Fire with the Rattan Archers is just going to have the natural counter to these crossbowmen. Liereyy right now, what we got coming in, chemistry for him coming in, and we got bracer coming in for Fire. So Fire's about ready to maybe look at getting back on the water, but I think he's going to want to finish off this landing first, just secure himself the land.
Yeah, I think he's secured the land first. He kept pumping out more and more fire galleys. Sorry, fire ships.
Yeah,
fire ships. Those are the ones. So it must have. That's a bit weird. Like, I was thought by that you could have seen it as no last fire ship, but he's going to take out the fishing ships. Hooray! 41 minutes. He's achieved something on that water. Good for him. But yeah, the Rattan Archers are so good, man.
They're so good. And also, Fire's just surrounding this landing with castles. He's got another one coming up at the north as well.
Oh my God. Like, okay.
So basically, Lierey's kind of surrounded by castles. He is coming in here, though, with the crossbows and the ram. He's actually disrupted a lot of Fire's farmland here. But those Rattan Archers are superb with 4 base pierce armor. With only +1 defense right now, they already got 5 pierce armor versus the 9 damage of a crossbow. They are very tanky, but they're not even upgraded. I mean, wait until he gets these guys upgraded a little bit, and these crossbows are going to be no problem at all.
So yeah, well, they just destroyed Skirmisher. What the? What the flip? What is this? What is this game? They're really good, as we can all clearly see. You know, they're not even elite. Oh my god.
Yep.
Well, what's Liereyy going to do? I think Liereyy is probably going to have to try and think about getting some cannon galleons. Yeah, oh, there they are. Genius. There we go. Cannon galleons are out. They're going to try and take out these castles.
Nice.
Taking out the docks as well. This is a bit of a problem for Fire because I would say three of these castles are in range.
Yeah,
three of the castles in range. So do you think maybe Liereyy did this on purpose to distract Fire enough to make him then
overcommit to the land,
whole
maybe?
grand scheme of things? Yeah. Do you think he did that on purpose, or that was just a unfortunate set of series of consequences that ended up him going with them?
I think that the strategy is always changing. The strategy is always adapting. That's for sure. But like, I think the landing from Liereyy, if he hadn't have been seen, he could have done a lot of eco damage to Fire. So I mean, I don't think he was expecting to do that much, given how many castles there were, and given that Fire does have the Rattan archers. But the fact that right now he controls all of the water and has cannon galleons out, well, these castles will be no more, and there's only a finite amount of stone on the map that Fire can use to repair his castles with. Currently doing hoardings, and that really just shows you how much value he places on his castles this game. But Liereyy is in such a strong position. He's got great map control. There's no chance, really, of Fire striking Liereyy back at any point, and Fire's just got to defend.
Yeah, it's also really important as well as the Vietnamese. They don't have masonry or architecture. So he had to call hoardings is the thing he has for the extra upgrade for his castles. So they're actually still relatively quite weak.
Yeah.
So this is a real problem here for Fire because they won't stand up particularly that long. So he's got to think about something to try and combat this. But what can he do? He can't get a single dock down apart from the ones to the south that he's just making. But that won't be enough.
Well, I mean, this is the thing. Liereyy has been very good at actually scouting the water quite well. He's seen a dock at the top of the map, and Fire was trying to build them there. Liereyy has already shut that down. And Lierey's going to see the docks coming up on the left as well, because they're just inside of his line of sight as well here. So Liereyy is still in a strong position. And, I mean, even if Fire manages to get 4 or 5 docks, how is he going to mass enough galleons in time before Liereyy scouts it out and shuts it down? In fact, there you go. He's sending his galleons down. He's shutting it down right now. So there's going to be, what, 4 docks from Fire? There's no way he's going to be able to outmass Liereyy here.
No. Yeah, it's tragic. I can't see how he can. There is... He's using all those villagers to repair that castle because he wants that to keep up so badly. But the other thing is, the docks he's building aren't even being covered by the castle. So
no.
it's kind of like, he has to. It's one of those things, he has to keep the castle up, but it's not really adding anything apart from a usage of stone. So
yeah, and meanwhile,
this is a real problem.
Meanwhile, Liereyy as well is building more forward walls, preventing Fire from getting any map control back on the land, locking down the extra stone on the left side or the sort of southwest side of the map, making sure that he's got like 2 layers of walls before Fire is even close to his base. And Lierey's got the additional gold piles on his side of the map as well at the very north, which he's, protected with a castle and a stone wall at the north. So I feel like Fire here, I mean, is there even a way back into this for him? What can he actually do? He's just run out of stone. He's buying stone at the market. He's out of gold. And this castle is going to go down in just a moment. I mean, he can't repair this castle forever.
144 to 179. Bit of a clear difference. I only got 2. You've got 2 relics, but that's nowhere near enough gold income for him to keep up this defense of his castle.
I think it's
great showing. Repair rates.
Well, I actually think it's GG right now. This castle's going to go. And, Fire just made another attempt to get back on the water. It got shut down again. Lierey's got 56 ships versus Fire's 6. So he's 50 ships ahead. Like, there's no way Fire comes back from this right now, unless Liereyy makes some huge mistakes. And I just don't see that happening from Lierey's position. The second castle is now coming under Fire, and Fire's built another castle up at the north, but Liereyy can just move his cannon galleons over there and shut it down. So, I'm really, I just don't... I don't think it works. And Fire in the chat
What's he gonna do? What's he gonna do? He has actually a fair amount of gold in the bank. Have you seen that? It's got 809. It's pretty decent. He's got a decent amount of gold. It's got forever though. As you said, the gold's all run out, so that's all he's got left. Yeah, GG. This
Yeah.
Sid not having fire. Yeah. Oh, he didn't realize. Oh man.
Well, I don't know why he didn't realize. He should have checked the tech tree. I mean, he can't have just assumed that they had fast fires, surely.
Oh, I must have done because when I checked the Imperial, I thought, okay, it's going to Galleon, and he started producing fire ships, and I thought, well,
Yeah.
that's a bit weird. Unless he thinks he's researching it or hasn't, I don't know. But that's him saying it in the chat clearly tells me that his plan must have been to go fast fires to try and claim the water back, but
Yeah.
didn't work out. So,
I mean,
but even then, though,
yeah.
would you still not go Galleon anyway?
Well, he
when you got the
researched.
castle up.
Yeah, he researched Galleon anyway, and then as he was researching Galleon, he was pumping out fast fires and not war galleys. So maybe he just assumed that their fast fires were there, but they weren't. And I mean, there's no one to blame but himself for that, I suppose, because that's something that you can't just assume, if you know what I mean. I mean, I don't know. But
Weird game.
Liereyy was pretty dominant, to be honest. He was doing a really good job in the early game, and that's where a lot of these games are won or lost, in the early game. Especially when on a water map. On land map it's a different story, but on water, if you lose the water, before the castle age, the game could already be over at that point. Unless you do something crazy. But Liereyy did do a really good job in the early game, really good army control, taking really good fights, and looking very strong as he takes the first map from Fire right here.
I think he played a brilliant. I think his game plan, his entire game was pretty near spot on. He was checking off everything he needed to do. The archery range, just in case he wanted to land with. Maybe execution wise a little bit lacking in that if we're going to be really critical. But his scouting was perfect. That feudal age, seeing those docks at the bottom. In the later games, seeing those docks and the castle, delaying it as long as possible. It was very well played from Liereyy. You were both saying at the beginning, "Oh, Fire's great with water. Can't go possibly wrong."
Yeah.
Oh man, Sod's Law. The caster's curse hit hard here. But no, I think Fire as well. Just before we move on, he had the right idea. Like, don't get it wrong. It was maybe I think the fourth TC was a bit questionable when the landing. He knew the landing was coming, but apart from that, he was making the right idea. He wasn't just copying the mirror like we saw in a Highland game. But I think in that situation, his execution when it came to the castle, again, because of the lack of siege workshop, really put him behind.
Yeah.
And then the fast fire thing, I think, kind of threw him off. So
Definitely.
Bit unfortunate there. But nonetheless, he played well. So I can't give him that wrong.
No, he did play well, and I think, well, they both played well, of course. This is a best of 3 for those asking in the chat. So the first to win 2 games will qualify through to the main event. Bear in mind, we are still just in the qualification stage here, and the winner will make it through. The loser will be dropping out. There is no lower bracket or anything like that. So that's our first match between Liereyy and Fire. And you can see the next match is going to be on Valley. So a completely different map style, very much a land map, very open. We'll be back in 5